Hi, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm really glad that you found it. And if you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Julia. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in Northeast Ohio. I am with Julia Sue's Stamping. I'm passionate about stamping, coloring, paper crafting, making cards, and sharing the fun of doing all of that with you. Today's card is going to be a really quick and easy one using a lot of designer series paper. Let's get started. The first thing I'd like to do with this card today is to introduce the stamp sets that we're going to be using. The first one is the Hearts and Hugs stamp set, and it has these adorable little animals and lots of great everyday sentiments that you can use. There's also a die set that coordinates with it, and it goes by the name of Hearts and Hugs also. So it's really easy to find and to keep track of what goes with what. In this card, we will be using one of those, which is a little animal, this one right here. I'm not sure, is it a hamster? You help me out there. Leave a comment and let me know if that's a hamster. And the Wonderful Thoughts stamp set, lots of great sentiments, simply using the hello on this one. So lots of great things though that I'm sure you could find a lot of uses. Also using the Dotted Circles 3D embossing folder. It is huge, and I was able to put the piece of cardstock I was using in just half of it. So no, I wasn't using the entire middle area, but this is a really great embossing folder. So now to bring in all the pieces and parts that we're using today. The first is the base, which has been cut to be 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to fold it at the score line, and using my foam folder rather, I'm going to go ahead and make that score line nice and tight. I'm using this one in a portrait style. Then the next thing I have is this embossed piece with that folder I was talking about. And isn't that cool? It's huge. Those dots are really big and they're deep and it's just beautiful. Really nice texture. I cut this piece to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, so it's just a 1/4 inch smaller. I'm going to lay it right on there. So using the Seal Plus, which is my preferred method of the type of adhesive I like to use. Maybe you are a glue user, and that's fine. All right, now I'm going to put the inside. It has Misty Moonlight, which has been cut to be 4 inches by 5 1/8, and then a piece of the basic white that is 3 7/8 by 5. I'm going to go ahead and adhere these together and put them on the inside. One more here. Get the adhesive on and then put it inside the card. There we go. Very nice. So the inside is done, and a lot of the outside, believe it or not, is done. And then there's one more piece of the basic white. This piece has been cut to be 3 1/8 by 4 1/2. I have 4 pieces of designer series paper that I have cut from the Country Lace packet. I've cut them to be 3 inches by 1 inch each, so 4 of them, and I'm going to adhere them to this piece of the basic white. And the great thing is it's two-sided, so maybe while you're even putting your adhesive on, you decide to have it go a different way, and that's fine. I tend to do the outside pieces first because then I can adhere the inside pieces easier and have a better idea of where the spacing is. So with this one, I am using both sides of this designer series paper. And I think I'll have it just a little further away there. And last one to put on here. All right. Very good. So I've got that all ready to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my sentiment on, which is that hello with Memento ink. And because this is photopolymer, I'm going to need to have a cushion underneath it. So I'm going to bring in the Pierce mat and ink up my sentiment. I'm going to put it right here on this piece of designer series paper. So I've got a nice crisp hello on there. Now I'm going to take that same ink, the Memento, and I'm going to take that little critter and I'm going to stamp it on this piece of scrap designer series paper from that same Country Lace designer series paper pack. I'm going to go ahead then and use the cut and emboss machine, my emboss and cut machine, the machine to cut it out using this die. See, here he is, all cut out. And now I'm going to use some of the Petal Pink blends. I'm going to use the darker one to do the inside of his ears. Just color them a bit. And his nose, his little hands, and feet. Just getting them to be a nice little pink. There. All right. Quick tip, I use these hair elastics that you can get at the grocery store to keep my pairs of light and dark Stampin' Blends together. So now that I have the little guy all colored, I'm simply going to use dimensionals and put him on to the back, or onto put him onto the card. Since I'm almost done with this package of dimensionals, I just cut one strip off here. And there. And then I'm going to use dimensionals and adhere this sentiment piece to the card base. And there, and one more. So take off the backs. There. And that's all there is to that. Now you could go ahead and do some embellishments if you wanted with some sequins or something. I wanted to feel as though I could give this card to a guy and not worry about it. And so I think that this is plenty. It looks great. It's not overtly feminine or anything along those lines, and it's just right for handing out to a friend. I hope you agree with me that these little animals are the cutest things in this stamp set. The Hearts and Hugs stamp set has so many great sentiments that you can use for every day, and those animals are just adorable. You can color them in, cut them out with designer series paper. The possibilities are endless. Watercoloring, just leave them be. whatever you want to do, you can see that there are so many possibilities, and that's fun in crafting to have more than one option. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure you give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'm gonna see you later. I'll be back again with more fun, and stay inky. Bye.